Welcome to the street market, guys. Today I got, well, this is the second visit, but this is my first lawn of the season. I want to say new lawn, but I don't have any lawns left since I started this channel. And I'll, I guess I'll try to explain why, but I could probably go into more detail in a later video. But basically, I just wanted to blow it up and start from scratch and just slowly. Let me see. I've got this concept that I like. I call it growing slowly, and so I'm trying to grow slowly and just really focus on getting the right clients. So with this job, basically, they were complaining about spending. They spent a lot of money on the landscape, and you could tell. And I don't know if the same people who did the landscaping were doing their maintenance, but they just weren't happy. They were looking for something more premium, someone that's more detail oriented. And as you all know, when it involves details and stuff like that, it involves more time. So and I explained it to them. I basically explained that I cut my business down to basically just overgrown lawns, because what I do now is just mostly handyman stuff. And I still do the lawn care stuff. I mean, I still have it as a service, but it's more tailored now. And so anyway, long story short, after I explained, that essentially, as far as maintenance is concerned, it would be more of a premium type of thing, and it'd have to at least cover the 2-hour minimum that I offer on the handy side. And they were all for it, so they gave me a try, and I finally completed this task. The last thing left to do was just a hard trim. I don't recommend. I made the recommendation to hold off on it until the last freeze, sometime in mid-February, whenever that is. I mean, you never know with the weather, but especially here in Houston. And so I made the recommendation to hold off on it, since it's not bad anyway. So really, the last steps to do now is just a hard trim. After that, I'll make other recommendations, like perhaps maybe some more mulch. I mean, it's already thinning out. Some feed, some fertilizer, just special products like, some anti or a fungicide. That'll help out with the summertime, with the bugs and all that stuff, and that too, the pesticides or whatever. But also, I haven't had that conversation with them. I don't know if they, I know they have dogs. So a lot of time, dog owners, they tend to be conscious about, products. So usually they elect going with a organic version, all natural, something that's harmless for the environment and their pets. I really don't think this customer is going to want to do the artificial stuff, but that's the next thing on my agenda. I got to put together an annual maintenance program for them, and it seems to me like she's on board with the, whatever it takes to make it happen. I'll show you. So obviously they put a lot of they've invested a lot in their home. This is a stain on cedar. Looks fairly new. Power washing. I don't know how old this pool is, but I mean, it looks very well taken care of at the very least. These are their gardens. They also had since they have pets, they also asked me to pick up their the pet poops, droppings, whatever you want to call it, if you want to get formal about it. Dog shit. All right. Gotta trim this guy up, especially like for the maintenance part. You're gonna be running into this a lot if you don't trim it down. So I usually, that's how I account trimming as well. So a lot of times it may not be the healthiest for the plant, but at the same time, you have to account for the maintenance program and whatnot, and assess risks and stuff like that. So I'll definitely need to trim it at least up to head level, so that I'm able to walk around. And that'd be good for the tree, actually for the landscape in general, because more airflow and light and stuff like that will come through. So I cleaned all this up, all the weeds that were in, and, I pulled them. That's how I like to do it. So I left a little bit of leaves back there, vacuumed it all up. But at the same time, we're going for efficiency. We're not trying to spend it all day trying to pick up everything. Since it's part of a maintenance program, I'll come back another time, and the next time I visit, it'll be better looking. And eventually, over consistent maintenance, we'll have a a debris-free lawn. So my goal is by summer for them to be able to enjoy this pool and their landscape. They're right behind the park too. But yeah, to enjoy their landscape, and that's when they'll make the determination whether all the money they're spending on me or anybody else, if it's worth it or not. And most often than not, when they're sitting in that pool, drinking their beers, enjoying the day, relaxing, that's usually when they, oh look, I found a potential job here. But anyway, that's usually when they realize how, the value in something like this. Same thing with these leaves. I know you see a lot of leaves, but this is the second time I've raked and vacuumed and blown, and it's just what it is. You can't pick up every single leaf. And going back to the consistency, the consistency is what really creates a lawn. It's not necessarily like knowing. I mean, yeah, the knowledge is good and stuff like that, but even with the knowledge, you can still, you can harness what you know, and still create great results. And I'll give you a perfect example. Take this tree for example. See how big this canopy is, and see how big it is. So, down here in our region, we have southern grass, and it's usually Bermuda grass or St. Augustine. And typically with these grasses, they're very sensitive. They require a lot of sunlight, and so any missing sunlight, that's their food that they're missing. They'll eventually start to basically thin out, show you, as well as these roots. I mean, look how big these roots are. So this tree is sucking up all these nutrients in this area over here, taken away from them. So again, if you have the knowledge, if you can harness that. So what it lacks here in sunlight, you can make up with it with product, with feed, with something, artificial, whatever. But that will present a whole different set of issues as well. Perhaps those products that you use, depending on what you use, may not be as good for a tree, like this, especially when the tree's exponentially sucking up nutrients. So it may be best to just switch up the type of grass here, and it seems to be already naturally forming. You see it right there. I think it's like a winter grass or something. I'm not too sure. I'm still trying to get all my species down. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to touch up on at least on the landscaping side of street markets, and kind of just, I know it's been a while since I've posted anything on it, on landscaping or lawn care, and that's because of the handyman side. It's been taking up a lot of my time and space, or my time actually and space. I mean, it's like, if I open that door, you'll see how much I had to cram in there just to make this job happen. So, but I do look forward to growing slower and slowly, and just making sure I get the right clients, and hopefully, I'm able to grow that side of the business, in terms of like bringing in new people, or bringing in the right people, I should say. Bringing in the right people is going to help me really expedite that process. But at the same time, I want to make sure that this is exactly what whoever comes into this company, into this department, whatever you want to call it, whoever comes here, I want to make sure they have the right mindset, and they truly understand the vision behind this growing slowly concept. All right, guys, if you guys have any questions about anything here, this video, or any of my past videos, just feel free to message, comment. Definitely subscribe if you can. I just learned that I got to get to 1,000 subscribers to try to get paid, and I don't really necessarily do this to get paid. I do it because it's a really good way of saving memories. I mean, I've gone through hell and back with this, especially with lawn care. Done so many different jobs, been presented with so many different challenges. Been stressed out a lot over in the beginning, and so there are definitely good memories that I feel are important for anybody, especially somebody who's trying to really get to the top. And and once I get there, I'd like to think that I'm going to cherish these videos, these moments. So, but at the same time, if there's an opportunity to get paid, get paid to do what you love, then by all means, right? All right, guys, take care. Have a good one. Good luck this season.